Welcome back to the channel, hope everybody's doing well, and in today's video we are taking a look at the third and final Someline crimping toolkit that I have purchased. This one being the standard insulated crimp set for electrical terminals. The other two sets that I looked at, first one was this tubular copper crimp kit for uninsulated crimps, 10 to 25mm cable sizes. Got on with this quite well really, quite a nice crimper and quite a handy little kit if you're working with tails and earth rods within the UK there. And then, not even there actually, the other crimp set that I looked at was the open barrel crimp set here, very similar, essentially the uninsulated version of the red, yellow, blue set that we're going to look at today. Didn't get on with this one quite so well. There seemed to be an issue with the frame that's marked as going up to 2.5mm squared, but it only has a set of dies that can crimp up to 1.5mm cable really. I really struggled with 2.5mm cable, so not so good with that one. I will leave links to the videos on each of those kits in the description box below. I'll stick them out to the side and then we can look at our crimping kit here. As with all the Someline kits that come from Amazon, they come in a cardboard box and then you get the Someline contact details on the back of the box here. That's all you get really. You do get the part number should you want that. This crimp set cost me around about £40 from Amazon, which is towards the top end of this style of crimping set, but it does have strippers as well as the crimping pliers and the crimps in there. In comparison, other kits on Amazon that had the crimper and the strippers were retailing for around about £35. You can buy this set without the strippers in it. The Someline kit for that version is £30, so you're paying about £10 for the strippers and I presume a slightly larger case as well. Other kits on Amazon that don't have the strippers are around about £20 to £25, so you're paying top price for this kit from Someline really in comparison to what else is available out there. The kit itself is 0.34mm squared to 6mm squared, equivalent to 22 to 10 gauge, and there are 39 different types of crimps you can see all on the front of the box here. So those 39 different types are spread across the three different sizes here, the red, yellow and blue, and then each of the crimp sets for the red and the blue you will get 8 of each of those crimps. For the yellow you will get 5 of each of those crimps. So we have a little look inside. Standard class, this is fairly much the same case that you see with Someline. The only difference is this does have a fixed handle on it, whereas the tubular one had a rotating handle. The lid is on a standard hinge, it goes all the way back and sits like that out the way. And then we have our little instruction manual, a little pamphlet you get with all the Someline kits. I do like these. They do explain the crimping process quite well. A nice little pictorial diagram shows you what's a good crimp and what's a bad crimp, type of wire that you should be crimping onto, and so on. And it is in English and German. And then on the other side you've got the other kits that they do as well. So that's all good. Then we have the strippers here and the crimping pliers in the top tray, and you will notice that you do get these little partitions and the spare little partitions for the rest of the box should you want to change the layout. Take the tray out of the way and put them up there, and you can see all the crimps inside there. So our little strippers here, they are marked up in 10 to 20 gauge. Oh no, 24, 22 gauge down to 10 gauge, and I've got 0.25 it says up there, down to 6mm squared at the bottom here, and then they have a little lock on them and they're spring loaded. I'd imagine they're a standard stripping set and just been rebranded with the Someline. So they are, we'll have a play with them in a minute. And then we have the actual crimping frame itself, standard set of crimping set. You have the tension adjustment there, the ratcheting, you have the release lever here, should you want to undo once you've started crimping. Comfort grip handles, hard orange plastic, and then the soft rubberized feel to the black handle there. Outside there's a little bit of play. Ooh, yeah, there's a fair bit of play in the joint there when you're crimped up. Yeah, there is a fair bit of play in that head. Yeah, get what you pay for, I guess, but as I said, these are towards the top end of the prices really, so don't know. See what they crimp like in a minute. The crimps themselves, they actually seem fairly nice in comparison to what you get from other crimp sets. They're fairly good. Fair bit of metal, I guess, on the there's the M6 equivalent. So this is just a standard kit that you get off of Amazon from Gorfy, wherever they may be. So you can see much more metal on this one. Where did that one come from? That one came from there. So yeah, they're quite nice. I think the insulation on the plastic seems a little bit thicker as well. Let's put them out of the way. Have a look. Insulated crimps. There's a yeah, you get yeah, the plastic is a little bit thicker. The insulated plastic is a little bit thicker on these than it is on these cheapo sets. So they seem fairly good value for money on the crimps themselves. We can have a look at some more. We want to see the strippers first, don't we? We do have a little cable shear in the strippers there. Yeah, that cuts okay. So this is 6mm. Ideally not. Well, you can crimp on this. That strips okay. What should we use? Pin terminals. See, you've got some more unusual ones. We've got pin terminals in here. We also have flanged fork terminals as well, which are the same as fork terminals. So they have the open end that you can feed into a terminal, but they have these little lips on them to catch behind the back of the terminal. So if the terminal comes loose, then these don't vibrate out or wobble out quite as easily, which is quite an unusual crimp to see. But we'll try, in fact, I won't get a pin. Let's do these because I've got loads of these. And we'll stick him on there. Go for our 6mm. It's crushed up the actual metal part of the crimp quite nicely. Insulated part, it's not crimped quite so well there. And if you could compare that, oh dear me, which one this one? This one would have been the Pressiver crimps. So not flattened it out as much really. It's not bad, but what is this? Oh, this is 4mm wire anyway. Let's see what 4mm wire one looks like. And this is a softer wire as well. So the strippers have just caught the strands there on that one. Try that on there. So yeah, they don't. I mean, 6mm usually takes a little bit of effort, but these aren't taking much effort at all, to be honest with you. Not on the yellows, so maybe they're a little bit loose. But it's squidged it up fairly nice. Don't have too much of an issue with it. So that was 4mm. And we've got our 2.5 here as well. Let's cut that cable. Yeah, shears are nice. The 6mm was kind of at its capacity a little bit, but wasn't too bad. See what the 2.5 2.5 crimp like. Try a pin one on this one. So more force required there. Yeah, and that's crimped down on the insulation a lot better. That's quite a nice crimp, quite like that. That's not bad at all, that one. So that's our 2.5. Let's go for our 1.5. Our red ones. Should cut this one easy enough. Great eggs in there. 1 to 1.5, so we probably have to be a little bit careful, don't we? Yeah, strippers aren't bad. Don't use these quite as much. And that's the only problem with these crimp sets, isn't it? That invariably there's crimps that you use an awful lot of that go out quicker, but you can obviously restock. That's the hardest one to crimp of the lot. And we're jammed in there, there we go. So yeah, that will have, again we've crimped down on the insulation quite well. Yeah, that's okay. Interesting, it just appears to be the 6mm that doesn't seem to crimp quite as well. What I should try is the other ones and crimp, shouldn't I really? Oh no, it's crikey. Must be that crimp then. Yeah, that one crimped a lot better. Wonder why that was then. Strange. Maybe it's just that individual insulated crimp. Yeah, there is quite a difference between the two crimps. That's why that one was tougher than the other one. But to be fair, crimping yellow is always the toughest one. I always do find that the toughest. But completely different size crimps there. Yeah, okay. So these ones are closer to the standard ones from Amazon that I got, that Godfrey set. Whereas these appear to be a bit more heavy duty. So it does depend on the actual crimp itself, and not so much the pliers. A bit of wire, that's annoying me. There we go. Okay then, so yeah, these, a lot of the crimps seem to be okay, perhaps just these spade crimps aren't quite as good quality as the rest of the crimps. But other than that, just fit in there. So you've got the tray here for the actual crimpers. These will slide around a little bit with the foam removed, but they're fairly tight. So yeah, okay. That's our third and final crimp set. Seems to be usable. Perhaps not quite as good. These last two sets haven't been quite as good as the original tubular crimp set that I had, but it's usable. Is it worth paying that little bit extra for? No, I doubt it. I think there's nothing that intriguing. They're a comfortable set of crimpers, but I'd imagine these are just rebrands anyway, aren't they? And if you like this style of comfort grip, you'll be able to pick up a set of these crimpers from somewhere else, different branding, and probably be a bit cheaper as to whether or not you want an actual set of crimps to go with it. So you can change the petitions in this and mix and match and do if you deal with specific types of crimps. But yeah, I think the jury's out on whether or not this is worth the extra tenner that you would pay. I don't think I would go for it again like that. I think I'd probably try my chances with a cheaper set. But there you go, that's it. That's the Someline Insulated electrical terminal kit. That'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you again in the next one.